And we are back with another episode of the Daily Deuce. My name is Dante Webster, and I am just filling in for Gary Graves for today. And I am joined by the usual suspects.
Oh, now I'm a suspect. Well, thank you, Dante. Hey, everybody. Great to be here. Another great week in sports. Dante, thank you for sitting in for Gary today. We greatly appreciate it. I'm excited. I want to get into it. I want to talk about it. Where do you want to start, man? But first, we would be remiss if we didn't say hey to the traffic cop, the director, the producer, John Pitt. Hey, John.
Hey guys, I'm excited, man. I was supposed to work on Sunday, but now with all this rain coming through, I get to stay home and watch the Cowboys beat up on the Washington Commodores, whatever you call them, the Washington
The Commodores were a singing group in the 1970s, John. They're called the Commanders.
Commanders. There you go. Sorry about that.
The Commanders. I mean, yeah, we could honestly we can get started. We can get started right there. I mean, that is the big game in the area this week. We have the 2-1 Dallas Cowboys coming. Oh, not coming to. Their Washington's going to them. Going up against the Washington Commanders, who are 1-2. It's a game. It's definitely a game. That is going to be an interesting one. Everything says that Dallas should win handily, but yeah, Dallas should really win this game, and it really shouldn't even. Honestly, even with Cooper Rush played, it really even shouldn't be that close, in my opinion. Like, not that he's like the Washington offense isn't bad. It's just that the Washington defense, yeah, like I have problems with CeeDee Lamb, but I know not a single cornerback in Washington can check him. So I mean, as long as he doesn't drop the ball, I don't really. You could force feed him. The other guys could even do a little something too. I mean, Michael Gallup, I think he may be making his debut this coming week. So yeah, like everything points towards a Dallas win, which is usually when something bad happens. Carson Wentz is familiar with Dallas, so it's very, very interesting in terms of just the matchup and how it should go. Again, everything literally says Dallas, but you have two coaches here who are both coaching for their jobs at this point, so you just never know what's going to happen. What are you thinking?
Hey. First thing I'll say, I was wrong earlier. I said whether Prescott got hurt or did not get hurt, if they didn't win their first two games, they were done. Well, they went 1-1, and then last week they beat the Giants on Monday Night Football. They're 2-1. Cooper Rush is playing very well. They got a very good chance of beating Washington. I think it's going to be close, Dante. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be a close game.
Agreed.
Now, here's the question. They win that. They're 3-1. Who's the next game against?
I have to look up the schedule. I don't have it off the top of my head. Go ahead. You keep talking. I'm going to look it up. Go ahead.
3-1. The next game is against whoever it is. They win that. They're 4-1. At that point, you're talking about Prescott coming back.
Prescott was saying he may try to come back. He may have tried to come back this week.
So if he comes back after this week, he's not playing against Washington. But if he comes back after this week and they're 4-1.
Next game is the Rams.
The Rams.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They win Sunday. They're 3-1. They're going against the Rams.
Yeah.
Prescott comes back. Do you sit Rush or do you go ahead? Or
I don't believe in the hot hand, and I don't believe what? No, that's ridiculous.
No, you're sitting Rush is what you're saying, right?
Oh yeah, that's what yes. You sit Rush. Yeah.
You're gonna sit Rush, okay.
Absolutely. I don't even think it's a question. That okay, I've seen that come up, and it really shouldn't be a question. It is kind of ridiculous. He's serviceable. The biggest thing is Dak didn't do anything this year to instill confidence in the fact that he was much better. I can agree with that. Within the one game.
And here's the thing, and you make a very valid point, but here's the thing people won't look at. Prescott started the season off against Tampa Bay, and Tampa Bay has a very good defense.
Absolutely.
Rush went up against Cincinnati, pretty decent defense, but they got through it. Then they played, who do they play next?
The
Giants.
Yeah.
Played the Giants next, and they beat them. And they should beat the Washington team. So he's played against the Giants, Washington, and Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
Prescott will play against Tampa Bay, and the Rams.
And then he'll get the Eagles the week right after.
3, and he could easily lose both of those. And at that point, you know they're going to be talking about putting him back on the bench and playing Cooper Rush. I guarantee you. Guarantee you.
I'm not disagreeing with you. The biggest thing is, I mean, there needs to be some realism here, and it's not even to bash Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush has proven to be a more serviceable backup than I thought, because in my personal opinion, I thought they didn't address the backup quarterback position, which is something that needs to be addressed because Dak has a penchant for getting hurt. If I were them, I probably would have put myself in a very compromised position because I would have reached out to Philadelphia and tried to kick the tires on Gardner Minshew. That's just me. So Cooper Rush proved to be an at-home remedy, and he proved to be an option that can get the job done. I mean,
should have gone and got Garoppolo.
Nah, we'll let Washington shoot themselves in the foot and make that mistake. That was pretty close to happening. And, not even called a mistake. He's a solid game manager that if you give him all of the right things, could carry you to the Super Bowl. And we've seen it happen. Dallas can't really do that for him, probably. So he just needs to go ahead and stay over there with Kyle Shanahan and, just ride that out.
So I'm going with Dallas on Sunday. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's 24-20, Dallas. I think Washington is going to make some adjustments. One of the things they're going to have to make an adjustment on, there cannot be 7-step dropbacks. They're going to have to get rid of the ball quicker because that guy, number 11, Micah Parsons, is going to be coming right out the gate very fast.
Yep.
So you're going to have a shorter pass game, a quicker passing game. They ran fairly well against Philadelphia, but they went away from it. I think they may need to establish the run. But with all that being said, Dallas wins because on that other side of the ball, I don't know who in the secondary for Washington can shut down CeeDee Lamb. I think Dallas rotating Ezekiel Elliott and what's the other running back's name?
Tony Pollard.
I think that's very effective, and I think Washington was struggling in trying to stop them on the run. I think Dallas is going to get them. I think Dallas is going to control the ball, control the game, but they will not blow them out. It will be a good game.
You see, there you go. You used the word good again. I keep telling you, this is between a close game and a good game. Two teams that are like, I'm sorry, anything that has like Cooper Rush, and I can't call it a good game. No offense to him. It'll be a solid game between two teams that'll be very close. It's not like I consider a good game to be like both quarterbacks will put up 300 yards. And you know what? It's not out of the realm possibility, but it's going to be it could end up being a very ugly 300-yard game. And what I'll say is, even looking at their last victory, Dallas did struggle against the Giants. Didn't really separate themselves. It didn't really pull away till the fourth quarter, and they had to come back. They were down. And so the biggest thing is, it is going to be a very tight game. They're going to have to scratch and claw. The biggest thing that I keep saying, it should all point to Dallas, just because if you just look at that Washington defense right now, it leaves a lot to be desired. Even the offense, it takes a half for them to get clicking, to get going. So I think I'll say 27-24. I feel like it'll be a pretty high scoring game. And, a divisional game, sometimes, everybody has an extra chip on their shoulder. And, if Carson Wentz didn't do anything to the Eagles, I don't know what he has proven to Dallas. But anyway, just saying. So
let me tell you something. You say Washington starts slow. If they start slow this week and get behind 24 or 20 points, he may lose his job in the locker room at halftime.
Which one?
Rivera.
Nah, he probably won't. Rivera's done a lot of things in terms of PR optics for that organization. It'll be at the end of the season. It's still in the line, but they wouldn't fire him. They wouldn't fire him mid-season.
Somebody's going to get fired at halftime if they're losing 20-0 or 24-0. Somebody's getting fired.
Jack Del Rio?
Somebody.
I'll say plenty of people you can fire.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the coordinator? Scott Turner? Isn't that his name? The offensive
North's son.
Yeah, well, maybe they should bring in North. I don't know. The offense is hard.
Let me tell you this.
I had a problem with North Turner. I wasn't going to say anything bad about him.
One of the best offensive minds and offensive coordinators in the game of football. As a head coach, he has had some challenges. But as an offensive coordinator, I don't know too many better. I mean, he's a brilliant mind. Brilliant.
To give his son credit, they unlocked a lot with Curtis Samuel this year. That's looking like the piece of their offense that they needed. That they needed right there. It's looking, when they start funneling through him, it works out. It looks pretty good.
And they got your guy down the field, but they didn't throw to him until the second half, and then he got like 70 yards in the third quarter.
Oh yeah, as a person that plays fantasy football, that was quite frustrating to watch. And all my guys are hurt, so I can't even sit him. I have to keep.
So Terry wasn't scary for you.
Terry hasn't been scary for me all year, but I also have Keenan Allen, Mike Thomas. Those guys are scary for the wrong reasons.
Isn't Keenan Allen on injured reserve for a
Not
hamstring
on
today?
injured reserve, but he's not playing on Sunday. This will make week 3 of him not playing. Yes, Mike Thomas is not playing either. Chris Godwin probably isn't going to play. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I hit a nerve. I'm sorry.
You just hit a nerve. I'm just thinking about all the guys that were on my team that, yeah, hey, it's like that sometimes. Quite frankly, I hope.
Can you do the wishbone in fantasy football? Maybe you can just play like 4 running backs.
Wow, you know what? No, I think I am going to play 3 though. That's the sad part. I'm leaning towards playing 3 this week, and that is really sad because I don't want to. Yeah, but it is what it is. Terry McLaurin. You know what the best thing is about Dallas? Terry McLaurin should actually end up open a couple plays because Trayvon Diggs is going to jump on a couple of those routes. Now the thing is, and Carson Wentz hit him in stride. Can he just air it out? Can he get the ball to him? Can he just stay upright long enough to where he doesn't make a mistake? Because Carson Wentz just doesn't make mistakes. He compounds them by just deciding, you know what? Rather than take a sack, I'm going to throw it with one hand, underhanded, no look, linebacker right in my face. And you know what? It's a turnover most times, but it's one of those NFC East battles. This is going to be a very interesting. I'll say it like this: it's going to be a very interesting game. Again, I can't use the word good because I just don't know how good the football will be, but it'll be a very interesting game. But I mean, we don't have to stick with that. We could talk about, there are other teams out there in other games. Unless you got one more thought you want to throw in there.
I was going to tell you, since I'm talking about not a good game, let's talk about 2 good games. Let's talk about Buffalo, Baltimore, Kansas City, Tampa Bay.
Okay.
Those are 2 good games.
I don't know. Buffalo's playing Baltimore this week?
Buffalo is at Baltimore at 1:00 on Sunday.
Okay. Another game from Lamar Jackson to earn his money. Not earn his money, but to show why he's worth his money.
I agree.
And Buffalo needs a bounce back game because Buffalo came out the gate swinging, and then last week they went down to Miami, and it looked like it was just too hot. Everybody from what I saw was gassed, and so it just didn't work out for them last week. They came up short against the Dolphins. I think now they're tied for first. Well, they're not tied for first. They lost to the Dolphins, but it's 2-1 down there in that division again. So Dolphins technically have a game up because they played next game. But anyway,
Dolphins are ahead because they're 3-1.
Yep, you're right. Yep, I had to think about that. But that also will be a good game. We get another game of Josh Allen. Baltimore, we have Lamar Jackson on the other side. These are looking like the 2 front runners for MVP right now. I don't think there's anybody that could question that at the moment. They're the 2 top guys in my personal opinion right now. Who do you see taking that one?
I really want Baltimore to win, but I think Buffalo gives them a hard time. I think it's good they're playing them at home. Their defense, I'm not sure about the defense. They gave up 42 to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
They gave up 27 to my Patriots last week.
Yeah.
And the Patriots have a pedestrian offense.
At best.
So I'm really not sure. How good their defense is. And that really concerns me. I want to go with them, but I think Buffalo may get them, man. I think Buffalo may get them.
So here's where things will even out. Buffalo's secondary is full of inexperienced players because of injuries. So it does kind of even out there to where when Lamar Jackson does end up making those deep shots down the field, Buffalo's probably not going to be able to do anything about it. It's at Baltimore, right?
Yes.
Personally, I think even though I guess I didn't see the Bills starting out 2-2. I see Baltimore taking that one because I just feel like they're on Lamar Jackson's back, and I don't think he's not going to let them lose. I think when he's going up against somebody like Josh Allen, he has that extra chip on his shoulder just because he has a financial incentive there. This is contract year. I do think that does play a role in it, and I do think that he's probably going to show up and show out against them. And like I said, that lack of a secondary is really going to make a difference. Even though Baltimore's receiving options, it's leaving a lot to be desired outside of Mark Andrews, because coming into this year, I'm pretty sure none of us thought as Devin Duvernay as Lamar Jackson's top option. Bateman, outside of the games where he has like 50-yard touchdowns, still waiting on him to like truly emerge. Mark Andrews, like I said, has been doing his thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's stuff to be desired in Baltimore, and I mean, it's the same issue that he's had the last 2 years, in my opinion. Not issue, but the same thing we've seen the last 2 years, where it's like, they have great tight end play, but we're still waiting on a receiver to really just like step up and emerge there. So I think that'll be a close, high scoring affair. I think that one we're going to see a lot of points on the board. I think both teams will get to the 30s, but I do think Baltimore will pull this one out, and I think it'll be because they had the ball last. They got a game.
All right.
Baltimore.
I go with Baltimore. You go with Baltimore too, right?
I thought you said you were going Buffalo.
That's right. I'll go with Buffalo. You're right. I'm going with Buffalo. I forgot that quick. I'm old, Dante. Help me, son. Help me. Hey, how about Kansas City, Tampa Bay?
I'm about to say, you said, speaking of old, let's just go ahead and talk about old right now because you're Tom Brady. Wow, Father Time. I know it's only 3 games into the season, and Father Time's still undefeated. And, for quarterbacks like him, you don't usually get a chance to decline. You just hit a wall. And early this year, I know he's missed receivers, and I know that last drive of the game last week against the Packers was really good. I'm not taking anything away from him. Early on, it's been a lot. They've struggled mightily. The running game isn't the same as it was last year. I know that offensive line is banged up. Like I said, I know that what's his name? Cole Beasley just got picked up last week, and he was catching passes in the game last week. That's how down on their luck they were.
Well, they said also Michael Evans didn't play last week. They think that hurt him. But also, you said a mouthful, and I guess you've been listening to your father a little bit. Father Time is undefeated. And when it hits you, it hits you. And I'm not saying Brady's there yet. He had a great last drive. That was the only drive that he had on Sunday that was really anything.
Agreed.
And he's still one of the best. Not the best, Mr. Webster, just one of the best. Agreed. And I think Kansas City beats Tampa Bay on Sunday.
You see, the thing is, I don't think they can afford to lose. Even though their division isn't that good, they don't want to. What are they? They're 2-1, right?
They're 1-2.
Oh, see, that's even worse.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. They beat San Diego the first game.
What? I was talking about the Buccaneers.
Oh, the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1. They beat the Saints this year. That's good. They beat the Saints.
They beat the Saints and they beat the Cowboys. Then they lost to the Rams. Not the Rams. Who did they lose to last week?
Lost to the
Green Bay Packers. Green Bay Packers.
Do that when they lost. I forgot about the Cowboys game that quick.
And then Kansas City beat San Diego.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's Los Angeles.
And who else did Kansas City beat?
Can't remember, but I know they won.
And then they lost last week to the Colts.
Yes, they lost last week to the Colts. The game they shouldn't have lost.
Yeah.
So there you go. Actually, that's another thing. They're coming off a loss to Indianapolis, and that's pretty embarrassing because Indianapolis, I think, coming into that game was 0-1-1. So you lose to Indianapolis, who you're supposed to beat, and you're supposed to beat the brakes off Indianapolis the way it was predicted, and you lose. And you didn't just lose; you took a hard loss there. And now I feel like they're going to bounce back. But that Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense is really good. And because that defense is so good, that is going to keep Tampa Bay in this game.
They'll keep them in the game. But I think the firepower of Kansas City will get them through. I think they beat Tampa Bay, even in Tampa Bay's backyard. I think that's what's going to happen.
You say the word firepower. I think that's the ironic part because I feel like the firepower is it's not the same.
It's not the same, but they still have it. You still have it. You still got Kelsey. You still got the running backs. You still got some wideouts. And then you're never going to be able to replace Tyreek Hill. Let's be clear with that. Absolutely. You don't replace him. But what you do, you put parts in to keep it moving. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what Andy Reid has done. So I still think, do they have a Tyreek Hill? No. But they have some other parts that are complements. And I think they beat them.
About to say, well, to be fair, 31 teams don't have Tyreek Hill. So, that makes that very simple. I'll just go ahead and I could be frank there. Now, the other thing about that, this is a Super Bowl rematch.
Yeah.
Super Bowl rematch, and Kansas City lost. So, who wants to win?
Both teams want to win. I'm still going Mahomes. And I think, Bieniemy's going to have to adjust his play calling some. I think Andy Reid may be in there doing a few more play calls this week. So, I think Kansas City wins.
Ironically, even after what I said, I'm gonna go with the Bucs because they can't lose again. They can't lose. They can't lose back to back. I mean, even though they're like I said, their division isn't looking. Yeah, their division. I had to think about who the fourth team in their division was.
They're in the division with the Carolina Panthers, the Atlanta Falcons, and the New Orleans Saints.
Wait till Jameis Winston's back is fixed up from those 4 vertebrae that are a little messed up. Wait till he gets that together, though. And Mike Thomas gets his toe together. Wait till all that happens, though, and all of that gets. Actually, Andy Dalton's going to handle business this week for them in London. Yeah, Andy Dalton against Kirk Cousins in London. That is a game that we took overseas right there. They deserve that one. That's, yeah. I mean, maybe like 5 years ago, that would be a good game.
Maybe we can have chicken and waffles Sunday morning and watch it together.
So that's, I thought you were trying to make a reference to London. I was about to say, that's not what they eat in breakfast in London, but okay.
No, I was talking about me and you eating breakfast.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I was about to say, they like beans for breakfast in London. I know that much. But, sorry. To circle this back around to where we started, I'm going to go with the Buccaneers winning that game. Sorry, I did not think about that. I think the Buccaneers will win. I think they will somehow figure out a way to make it a lower scoring game. I got the Buccaneers winning 17-14.
One last game. LA Rams, San Francisco 49ers.
That is an intriguing one. And the thing that makes it intriguing is LA should win. But LA always struggles with San Francisco outside of that one playoff game last year. And even in that playoff game, should have lost that too, most likely, in all honesty. But I mean, should have, would have, could have. But that's a tough one. I mean, the Rams are you're still looking for the Rams to be the Rams. A little bit, they've been a little sluggish out of the gates, outside of demolishing the Cardinals, which I mean, yeah, that was pretty sad. But yeah, I probably lean towards, what? Why not? I'll take the Rams. I think the Rams could actually get it done. It's completely anti to everything else that we've seen happen, but I'll actually take the Rams to win that one.
Well, I'm going opposite with you. I'm going to take the 49ers. I think, they come back home after that interesting game they played against Denver. They should have won that game. But they came up short. I think Garoppolo, I said it last week on the show.
Mm-hmm.
I think Lance is not ready to be a starting quarterback yet for the 49ers. I'm not saying he can't be a starting quarterback in the NFL, but I don't think he's ready to be the starting quarterback for the 49ers. I think right now, Garoppolo gives them the best chance of advancing in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's be clear. Jimmy Garoppolo is not confused with Johnny Unitas or Joe Montana or your man, Tom Brady. We're not confusing him with any of those people. But what he does do, he brings leadership and continuity to the 49ers. The players love him. They'll run through a wall for him, and they like what he represents. And the other thing about Garoppolo, he's a class act. I mean, they tried to do everything they could this year to get rid of him, and at the end of the day, he's the highest paid backup in the league. And 2 games in, Lance unfortunately gets hurt, and who is your starting quarterback? Nobody else has a backup quarterback like Jimmy Garoppolo. So now you got Garoppolo back in the saddle. He's starting. I think they're going to – the thing that helps San Francisco, and I think it makes it a better situation for Garoppolo, 2 things. One, San Francisco has a very, very steady defense, very good defense with Bosa. And I think that offense with Kyle Shanahan has proven he can work with quarterbacks and he can adjust the game plan for quarterbacks. He's proven it. Go all the way back when he was here in Washington with his dad, Mike Shanahan. In the playbook, they adjusted for Robert Griffin when they made the playoff run.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what he's doing there, and he knows what Garoppolo's strengths are and what his weaknesses are, and he's going to call a game based on that. And like I said, it's going to be a lot of 17-14 games. Unfortunately, it's going to be some 11-10 games, but they're going to win. They're going to, and they beat Los Angeles on Monday night. They beat them. I think they beat them 17-13.
Oh, okay. All right. You said a lot of good things there. I don't have a problem with Jimmy G. Jimmy G reminds me of Alex Smith at this point. I mean, steady hands. It's really all you need. I mean, that's been the way the 49ers have worked.
Alex Smith was the starting quarterback for the 49ers when my man Coach Kaki was there.
Worked out for him. Got to the Super Bowl. Wait, no, NFC Championship game. Lost his job to Colin Kaepernick. Never mind.
He lost his job next year. Kaepernick got to the Super Bowl.
Right. Never mind. Take that out. Maybe he wanted to work a little bit better than it did with Alex Smith. Sorry about that one. Anywho, but actually, it's ironic. Same thing happening all over again. We have a black guy, great running quarterback, apparently. Could have lost his job. Wow, this could have played out very well if Trey Lance hadn't gotten hurt. History could have literally repeated itself. Anyway, moving on. But
you are unbelievable. You know that.
I just thought about that. If only Trey Lance was ready. If only Trey Lance could actually play real football, that would really have helped. I blame North Dakota State. I think that's where. Yeah, but anywho, the Rams. I'm just gonna take the Rams because I just think it's you got the monkey off your back for the playoffs. I feel like they're gonna try. I feel like they're gonna be able to get things right, and I feel like they'll be able to do it again. It's been like I said, it's been a slower year for them, but they are getting the run established. Cam Akers had a bad first game, but last week wasn't bad. I think they're going to be fine. They still have Cooper Kupp. And at some point, you have to imagine that the Matt Stafford, Allen Robinson connection will finally click. It hasn't yet, but you have to imagine it'll happen. And when it does, it could be this week. It's good. That offense is another level that it can get up to.
Well, like I've always told you, Matt Stafford, very good quarterback, and he's better than Dak Prescott.
You know what? Based off Dak's recent performances, I can't say anything. I'll take that one on the chin. You know what? That's fine. That's totally fine.
Dante, another fast-moving 30 minutes, man. Take us on home, man.
Are you sure? I was going to give you a couple more minutes and let you. I was going to bring up a quick little baseball tidbit. I know you don't want to talk about it because the Orioles.
Baseball season is over.
No, it's not. There's 6 games left. The Orioles are 5 games out of the wild card. I mean, barring a historic collapse, they won't make the playoffs. But I mean, been a great year for them. I don't know. They overachieved. It's a better year than it was for the Nationals. Not only did the Nationals lose this year, we lost like a generational player in the same season.
Are the Nats even considered a professional baseball team?
Yes, we are. Yeah, why not? Why can't we? Were you all for years? I mean, let's not.
Hey, that's a strong foundation that we have there.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So
it's Oriole magic.
Yeah. So we go from Cal Ripken, then we had the Adam Jones years, and we had the Manny Machado years. I mean, you lucked out. Adley Rutschman apparently became decent enough at offense. Not even decent. He actually became good at offense. Because for a while there, you were telling me that, his defense is great. Yeah, it's awesome. I drafted a catcher first because he could play great defense. Okay.
Hey, but look, Rutschman is a very good player. I mean, they brought up Henderson. He's a very good player. And now the Orioles are getting into a situation that's a good problem to have, where now you got to start thinking about what you're going to do with some of these players. Like in the outfield, you got Austin Hayes, Santander, and you got Cedric Mullins. But you got a kid coming up from the farm system. What's his name? Coulter. I think his name Coulter. He can play the outfield. Somebody's got to go because you also have in the outfield Favre, Ryan McKenna. Somebody's got to go. Infield, what do? You got Gunnar Henderson. Are you going to make him a shortstop? You're not going to make him a shortstop because Mateo's going to be a shortstop. So you're going to make him a third baseman or you're going to make him a second baseman. And then if you're going to make him a third baseman, what do you do with Urias? You move him to second. So what do you do with Odor? You're going to let him go and sign with somebody else. They're coming. The thing they got to get, Dante, they got to get a number one pitcher.
I'm about pitching. Oh my God, you told me about this for 10 years. They got to get pitching. They got to get.
I'm telling you, Grayson Rodriguez. I'm telling you, the guy.
Look him up.
He's coming next year. He's coming next year, Dante. Okay. He's coming up there. I saw him throw it down Salisbury. I saw him throw it over at Bowie. He's coming next year. They need a number one. They need a solid number one.
All right. Yeah, they've been needing it. Will they get it? They don't want to pay for one. It takes forever.
Well, he's still on the contract. He has to come.
Yeah. Got you. Cool. You don't want to pay for a pitcher, so you're basically just waiting on something in-house to pop. It's kind of hard to do. It's not really easy. I'm just saying.
Well, he's ready to come up, Dante. I mean, okay. Unless you're going to go get me Clayton Kershaw.
Okay, speaking of Clayton Kershaw, we're just going to take that one off the table because you said that for I think you said that for 3 years. You want the back end of Clayton Kershaw. I guess you're hoping for some Justin Verlander style renaissance where, it's the second act is actually really good. Who knew? And not to say Clayton Kershaw's even bad now because I was actually going to say, all right, speaking of him, what's your World Series prediction right now? As in who you have?
World Series prediction.
Yeah.
I can't include the Orioles because if the Oriole magic won't happen in his next 6 games, will it? Probably not.
If you put the Orioles in the World Series, I'll buy you dinner. Yeah, if that
Okay.
Happens.
National League, you know I'm rooting for one team in the National League. You know which team that is, right?
No, which one is it?
The Mets.
Oh God, that's right. Oh yeah, your guy.
And you know why? You know why?
Yeah, your guy is over there. Yeah, I'm good. I don't need to see any of the other NL East teams win.
Buck, we trust.
Yeah.
In Buck, we trust.
Oh yeah, no, I'm good, man. I don't need to see the Mets win, and then you have Max.
Okay, the World Series. I'll give you a World Series now, and I know nobody's going to agree with it. We're going Mets, Astros.
Mets and Astros. Oh, you love your old guys. I know. Yeah, that's right. You love Dusty too, man. You're the only person that supports Houston.
Hey, respect your elders.
I don't even disrespect. But you're right. That was me. I take that back. That was I absolutely agree with you. But my God, you're like the only person outside of Houston that still respects the Astros. And most of the players that were on the cheating team are gone outside of Altuve, I think. Oh, is Verlander still there? Yeah. I'd have to look at the lineup card.
Yeah, Verlander's still in Houston.
Yeah, Verlander and Altuve. But just generally speaking, I think I'm going to go with the Dodgers because they won like 108 games so far. So yeah, I'm not going to bet against them. I'll go with the Dodgers. And I think out of the AL, I'm going to take the matchup that we say every year and that never happens. And it just sounds like really easy to do. I'm going to go with Yankees Dodgers. Yeah, like I know like when you get to the postseason, like the pitching matters more so than the hitting. But the Yankees still have like 4 dudes who hit over 25 home runs. And I know bats go silent in the postseason. It's not easy to hit. Totally understand that. Just feel like it's like something that can't be overlooked. With the Dodgers have had injuries all year, and yet I was looking at their lineup, and they have like multiple pitchers that have like ERAs in the 2s. And like when you go through like their lineup outside of like the rotation, you go to like the other side and you look at like their lineup. Trey Turner, Freddie Freeman plays for them now. Not like I didn't know that. Make sure I clarify that. I knew that. But Freddie Freeman plays for them. Trey Turner, Mookie Betts. I mean, like, and there are other guys. Cody Bellinger. Like, you can go down the list. Like, they have guys. You just read the list and you're just like, okay. I know, like, money doesn't always buy championships, but it's really hard to bet against those two teams when you look at those lineups. I know the Yankees, like, hit that little, like, dip in the middle of the season, but.
All right, let me ask you this. If you get Yankees and Dodgers, who are you taking?
Dodgers.
Now, if you haven't watched it yet, you need to watch on ESPN the documentary Yankees Dodgers: An Uncivil War.
I'm gonna check it out. I have to see that. I want to check it out.
Shows them in their World Series back when Reggie Jackson was playing for the Yankees.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I didn't know when it was, but okay, cool. So we take this to the 70s. Got it. Okay.
Yes.
Sounds like a good time. Okay. I don't mind it. This October. I'm with it. I like Reggie Jackson.
He's a bad guy. He played for the Orioles at one point too.
Did you get him on the back end too? Okay, you can say yes. Because I think of Reggie Jackson, I think of the Oakland A's, and I think of the New York Yankees.
He got traded. Here is the irony. He was traded to the Orioles, played for 1 year, and free agency really started hopping. The next year he signed with the Yankees, and that's where he finished his career. He was with the Yankees, and he finished his career with the California Angels.
Okay, but I thought you got him on the bad side. Okay, I didn't know. I was about to say, did you all get some time with what's my man's name? Played for everybody. I bought you the book about him. Yeah, I can't remember his name. The book, the baseball. I got you the book about the guy. Baseball player, played for like
Willie Mays?
Ricky Henderson. Ricky Henderson.
No, Ricky didn't play for the Orioles.
I played for everybody else. Okay,
didn't get to the Orioles.
Oh, okay. He worked his way around every other team. I just figured you guys would have been on the list.
Great read too. Great read. I loved it.
Yeah, Ricky Henderson. Great, very interesting guy.
So you're going to go Yankees, Dodgers. You're taking the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go Houston, Mets. Oh, man. Dusty really needs a World Series championship. Buck, I love Buck. Oh, man. I got to think about that one, Dante. I got to think about that. That's a hard one right there. I guess I would go with Houston because Dusty deserves a World Series. He should have got one with the Giants, but California got him in 7 games.
Oh, yep, that is true. That is true. Barry Bonds also needed a ring. Yep. All right. And so with that one, we'll wrap it up right there. We'll bring the plane in Fort Landing right there, right on the top, right on the topic of Barry Bonds. This has been fun. I've enjoyed this. I always enjoy my time with you all on the Daily Deuce, and I thank you for having me today.
Hey, Dante, thanks for coming in, stepping in today. Greatly appreciate it. Love having the opportunity to sit here and chit chat with you about sports. Hey, everybody, have another great week. Watch some football, watch some baseball, watch some preseason basketball. We're going to talk about it again. See you next week. Take care.